let's talk about Ezekiel's vision of the chariot, right? So let's talk about this because, let's see. Okay, so some of these books also, okay, when we start talking about angels and archangels, okay, let me just say this. When you get into some of this information is esoteric information. It is information that is hidden. Most people don't study, okay? They're not into the deeper secret mysteries of the Most High. So some of these books, basically, it's the secret doctrines, okay? And they might not be discussed in public, okay? So this is why I'm doing this course basically for people like you and I, people that are pious, okay? So everybody is not going to receive this information. It is for people that are chosen, the called out ones. You have to be, it says here, you got to be pious, okay? Listen, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength, right? But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thy eyes the things that are in secret, okay? Some of this stuff is only studied by scholars, basically. It says, unless he be wise and understand it by himself. So some of this stuff that we talking about is for pious people, people that have a deeper understanding and they want more knowledge of God. They want to know the deeper things and secret mysteries of the Most High, right? See, listen to this. It says the secret doctrine might be entrusted only to one who possessed the 5 qualities enumerated in Isaiah 3:3. So let's go to Isaiah 3:3. Hold on, you guys. Let's see, Ezekiel 1:4. And I looked, and behold, a stormy wind came out of the north, a great cloud with a fire flashing up, so that a brightness was round about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of electrum, out of the midst of the fire. So we're talking about the vision, y'all, of Ezekiel, right? And so the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's very important. But it says here you got to have certain qualities, to be able to understand certain, visions that God, prophetic mysteries, okay? The mystery of God, the mystery of Christ. To understand these things, listen, it says here that the captain of 50 and the man of rank and the counselor and the cunning charmer and the skillful enchanter, I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Listen, you guys, so let's just get more into this, and then I'll come back Because this is getting more into Ezekiel's vision of the chariot. Okay, hold on, you guys. So it says here that there's multiple layers of heaven, you guys, right? So usually 7 heavens, often guarded over by angels and encircled by flames, which we just read, and lightning. The highest heaven contains 7 palaces, which is called the Hekhalat. Okay? Listen to this. And in the innermost place resides a supreme divine image seated on a throne, which is God's glory, or an angelic image surrounding by awesome hosts who sing God's praise, right? So when these images were combined with the actual mystical experiential motive of individual ascent, so it looks like here, let's see. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get into nothing that's not related to Ezekiel's vision of the chariot. I'm sorry. But it says here that, so the main interest, okay, let's talk about the Hekhalat literature, are accounts of divine visions, right? Mystical ascents into heaven and observance of the divine council, and the summoning and control of great angels, usually for the purpose of gaining insight into the Torah, right? So this is why it's a gift, okay? You have the gift to be able to summon and control great angels. Your angels are sent to serve you, right? So in Ezekiel's vision, it's talking about the Hekhalat, okay? The Hekhalat was basically, let me show y'all here, because we went over this. We were talking a little bit about it. Hold on, let me see. The highest heaven contains 7 heavens. So that's what we were talking about, right? And this was actually describing the innermost palace, okay? The supreme divine image of God's glory, or an angelic image, which was seated on a throne, surrounded by awesome hosts who sing God's praise, right? So let's get into this. When you talk about the Hekhalat, okay, basically, and the summoning and control of great angels, it usually was for the purpose of gaining insight, y'all, into Torah, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about this. So basically, these mystics would enter into the celestial realms and journey through the 7 stages of mystical ascent, which is the 7 heavens and 7 throne rooms. Such a journey is fraught with great danger, and the adept, okay, must not only have made elaborate purification preparation, but also know the proper incantations. So you got to go through a purification preparation, okay? You have to know the proper incantations, right? You have to have seals and angelic names needed to get past the fierce angelic guards, as well as know how to navigate the various forces at work inside and outside of the palaces, right? The heavenly ascent is accomplished by the recital of hymns, all right? This is why also there is a book that God revealed to me called the Sabbath, the Songs of Sabbath Sacrifice. That's what it's called, the Songs of Sabbath Sacrifice, right? Let me see, let me just make sure. Also, this is why you must understand the names of God, which usually abound in the Hekhalot literature. The secret names of God. It's important that you know these names and their particular powers. How you can also invoke these angels to help you, along with the seals and angelic sigils. Okay? See, when you access the divine council, okay, listen, you summon and control great angels, right? But there's a process that you also have to go through. Now, when Ezekiel was describing this vision of the chariot, okay, this is what you see. The chariot vision of Ezekiel and the temple vision of Isaiah in chapter 6 of Isaiah. You got to go through a purification process. Now, this great name with which Moses divided the great sea, this is how he was able to do that, because he knew the secret names of God. This is his, great name, which turned the waters into high walls, okay? So we can see here that there was heavenly music, okay? Usually connected with the angelic adorations mentioned in Isaiah 6 and 3. Mantra-like, repetitive nature. Repetitive nature of the liturgies recorded in many of these compositions seem meant to encourage further ascent. The ultimate goal, basically, it seems to be a visionary glimpse of God, right? To behold the King in his beauty. It's the enthronement, that the adept be accepted among the angelic retinue of God and be given an honored seat. This is how you get an honored seat, y'all. With God, remember, I've been talking about whose table you eating at. Are you eating at the table of God? Are you eating at the table of Satan? So this stuff is important if you want to be given an honored seat with God. This is deep. One text actually envisions a successful pilgrim getting to sit in God's lap. Let me see. It also talks about this in the Hebrew Enoch, third Enoch. You got the lesser palaces, the greater palaces. You got the work of the chariot. Then you got the book of palaces, the Sefer, Hekhalot, also known as 3 Enoch. It says, which recounts an ascent and divine transformation of the biblical figure Enoch into the archangel Metatron. Now it says here, a fifth work provides a detailed description of the Creator as seen by the descenders at the climax of their ascent. And it says that, I got the name of the book. I can post some of this stuff here so y'all can go back and do your own research. Do your own due diligence, right? This is deep, y'all. So also knowing the 22 letters, y'all, of the Hebraic alphabet is important. Some of these texts also, when you start getting into esoteric information and, you know, certain literature, okay, about lost books and, you know, the heck a lot literature and, you know, stuff like this, when you get into the celestial realm and you really start understanding how things operate, because we're talking about the seven heavens and Ezekiel's vision of the chariot. But the Hebrew language alphabet, the 22 letters, has power, okay? It's power in knowing the Hebrew alphabet, y'all. So I was just over here researching some other stuff, but we're going to get more into this. I'm just vaguely touching on this stuff because I got to put something together so I can give you some facts. I would say that. I will have to give you some facts, okay? And I have to teach you about how to access, okay, the heck a lot. Why? Because there is a certain time of purification that you have to go through. You have to understand angel sigils, which I have a digital product on. You also have to understand the secret names of God. That's why I'm going over the 72 angel names of God in this vision. In this course. Okay, we're going over the 72 letter name. And then we can come back and we can get more into this later. But I just want to touch on some of these mystic or mystical teachings about the Heckalot, because it talks about the greater palaces, the lesser palaces, the work of the chariot in the book of palaces. Like, it talks about this divine transformation, right? Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. We're going to get into this because when you start talking about this vision that Ezekiel had, according to the verses in Ezekiel and its attendant commentaries, okay, his vision consists of a chariot made of many heavenly beings driven by the likeness of a man. Okay, the base structure of the chariot is composed of 4 beings, y'all. These beings are called the living creatures, okay? In Hebrew, hayat or kayat. The bodies of the creatures are like that of a man being. It says, but each of them has 4 faces, corresponding to the 4 directions, okay, that the chariot can go, which is east, south, north, and west. The faces are that of a man, a lion, and ox. Later changed to a cherub in Ezekiel 10 and 14. Okay, it says here that in Ezekiel 10 and 14, and every one of them had 4 faces, y'all. The first face was the face of the cherub, and the second face was the face of a man, and the third, the face of a lion, right? Then it says, in the fourth, the face of an eagle. Okay, so I'm telling you what it say right here. And then it says, in an eagle, since there are 4 angels, and each has 4 faces, there are a total of 16 faces, y'all, if you think about it. If it was 4 angels in this vision. Each of the Hayat angels also has 4 wings. 2 of these wings spread across the length of the chariot and connect with the wings of the angel on the other side. Each angel covers, it says here, this creates a sort of box of wings that forms the perimeter of the chariot, right? So with the remaining 2 wings, y'all, okay, each angel covers its own body below, but not attached to. The feet of the Hayat angels are the other angels. Well, the feet of the Hayat angels are other angels that are shaped like wheels. These wheel angels, okay, which are described as a wheel inside of a wheel, they are called the Ophanim. Yeah, these are wheels, cycles, waves. These wheels are not directly under the chariot, but are nearby and along its perimeter. The angel with the face of a man is always on the east side and looks up at the likeness of a man that drives the chariot. Y'all listening to this? So the likeness of a man sits on a throne made of sapphire. Okay, I gotta show y'all something. Okay, sapphire. And it says sapphire is lapis lazuli. For short, is a deep blue metaphoric rock used as semi-precious stones that has been prized since antiquity for its intense color. Now let's go to this, y'all, because this is pretty deep, right? So the necklace that I have, I wear is pyrite, okay? But we're talking about lapis lazuli or lazuli. It says it's from Afghanistan, this particular stone. Y'all go look it up. Y'all go look it up. Now let's talk about, let's see something here. It's the color blue, used as a root for the word for blue in several languages. Still represents heaven or sky. Listen, y'all, this is deep. Okay, hold on, y'all, because I actually have this stone. Come here. I'm going to show it to y'all, okay? Give me that blue bag and those. Let me see that. Give me the other two. Y'all see this? Y'all see these little blue stones? This is what sapphire look like. Like, let me see. It says lapis. Look. Y'all see this? Somebody actually gave this to me. Lapis. This is what sapphire look like. We're talking about Ezekiel's vision. Of Ezekiel's vision. All right, listen to this. It says there are many references to sapphire in the Old Testament. In Exodus, y'all, 24:10, it says, and they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet, as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone. I just showed this to y'all. This is written in the Bible. Not this one, I'm sorry. This is some other stones. It's this one. I don't know if y'all can see it, but This is it. Y'all see this? Sapphire. It's like lapis lazuli. And it says here that I'm just researching this because this took me somewhere completely different. Now we can actually come back to gemstones, okay? But I just wanted y'all to see what it actually looked like, okay? Now, let's get back to this because we're talking about the vision in Ezekiel. Now it says uses. What does people use this particular gemstone for? So it could be made into jewelry, carvings, boxes, ornaments, small statues, vases. Okay. So it's used for a number of things, you guys. All right, so let's get back to the Heckalot, the vision of, let's see. We're talking about the palaces, into heavenly palaces, the chariot. All right, so when you get back into this, let's continue because I don't want to get off track from what we actually, discussing. But when you talk about Ezekiel's vision in the chariot, let's go into the Ophanim, okay? And it's called Ophanim. It refers to the wheels seen in Ezekiel's vision of the chariot in Ezekiel 1:15 through 21. So the Ophanim means spheres, wheels, whirlwind. It refers to the wheel seen in Ezekiel's vision of the chariot, right? Which is the Hebrew Merkabah, okay? I'll give y'all the name of that, and that will draw you more into Heckalot literature, okay? Accessing the angel of God's presence, right? Going through that purification process. So listen, in the book of Enoch, okay, it talks about or portray them as a class of celestial beings who, okay, they never sleep, but they guard the throne of God, okay? And they are one of the choirs, right? Classes of angels. So there are different classes or hierarchy of angels, right? These wheels have been associated also with Daniel 7 and 9, okay? Where it talks about, let's see, of the four eye colored, as I looked, thrones were set in place. This is what he said, okay? Daniel 7 and 9. And the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was as white as snow. The hair of his head was white like wool. His throne was flaming with fire. Y'all hear this? And it says, and his wheels were all ablaze. Because the angels are what? Ministering spirits. Ministering spirits. The angels are ministering spirits. And they minister and they are sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. So angels are spiritual beings. They're involved in many different tasks. And part of the elect angels' work is to serve or minister to believers in different ways. Not just one way, y'all, but several different ways. Okay? Minister means it being in service to other people, right? Being a servant. Angels are said to serve believers, right? Which is, it has the idea of someone waiting at a table. Because it refers to angels as ministers or servants to those who have trusted in Jesus for salvation. Okay? And then when you read Hebrews 1, it specifically contrasts the service of angels with the greater work of Jesus, since he is superior to angels. So when you read Hebrews 1, 5 through 14. Hold on, let me go to this. It says here, for to which of the angels did God ever say, "You are my son, today I have begotten you"? Or again, "I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son"? And again, when he brings the firstborn into the world, he says, "Let all God's angels worship him." Of the angels, he says, he makes his angels winds and ministers of a flame of fire. His ministers a flame of fire, But of the Son, he says, what did he tell the Son? He told him, "Your throne, oh God, is forever and ever. The scepter of uprightness is the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness beyond your companions." Y'all listening to this? "And you, Lord, laid the foundation of the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands." Heaven is the work of his hands. It says they will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment, like a robe. You will roll them up. And guess what? Like a garment, they will be changed, but you are the same, and your years will have no end. And to which of the angels has he ever said, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet"? Are they not all ministering spirits sent out to serve for the sake of those who will or are to inherit salvation? Listen, y'all. See, Ezekiel, he already seen the vision. As ministering spirits, angels serve believers in several ways, y'all. At times, angels are sent by God to answer prayers. Don't you know you the answer to somebody's prayer? An example of this is when Peter was in prison shortly after the execution of James in Acts chapter 12. As Peter was in his cell, chained between two guards, the church was earnestly praying to God for him. In verse 5, suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him up. "Quick, get up," he said, and the chains fell off Peter's wrist. Come on now. So it was the arrival of an angel to rescue Peter. It was obvious that this was the answer to the church's prayers. Yes, but God, he could use angels to answer our prayers, just as he did in this instance. In this instance right here, in this chapter, this book, even if it is not in a visible manner. Now, another way that the angels are ministering spirits is that they are sometimes sent to encourage y'all believers. In scriptures, angels encouraged and attended the Lord Jesus at least twice after he was tempted in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, and in the Garden of Gethsemane, I think that's how you pronounce it. Listen, Paul was encouraged by an angel during a storm at sea. In Acts 27:23 and 24, for this very night there stood before me an angel of God, to whom I belong and whom I worship. Listen, because see, he belonged to God. He worshiped God. But see, the angels were sent. And the angel said, do not be afraid. Paul, you must stand before Caesar. And behold, God has granted you all those who sail with you. So that's why I'm telling y'all that the angels minister in several different ways, okay? There always appeared to people an angel from heaven. And the angels were sent, y'all, to strengthen the people. Right? In Luke 22:43. And then in Matthew 4:11, you can see, then the devil left him. And behold, the angels came and were ministering to him. Don't you know the angels will come and show you the vision, just like in Ezekiel's vision of the chariot? Okay? Don't you know they'll take you on your own spiritual journey, and they'll begin to show you the lesser palaces of heaven, the greater palaces of heaven. Okay? They'll show you the seven heavens. Okay? Listen, the angels I'm talking about, listen, I ain't talking about one type of angel either, because there's many types. Okay? And we went over one of them. So this is good, y'all. This is so good. Now, angels, they also provide protection for believers. That is another service that angels do for the Lord. An army of angels surrounded Elijah in 2 Kings 6, protecting him from the Arameans. Daniel was protected in the lion's den by an angel who shut the mouths of the lions. Okay? Daniel 6:22, my God sent his angel and shut the lion's mouth and have not harmed me, because I was found blameless before him. And also before you, O king, I have done no harm. My people believe in personal guardian angels. It could be that every believer has an angel assigned to him for protection, and you do. God revealed to me the name of my guardian angel, and it's actually, the name is in the Word of God, so I couldn't deny it when he revealed this mystery to me. Okay? I have a guardian angel. You have a guardian angel, but you have to understand and ask God to reveal to you the name of your guardian angel that watches over you. Okay? Listen to this. So, there is nothing specifically stated about guardian angels in the Bible or about personal guardian angels, but I do know that according to your date of birth, okay, you have physical guardian angel, a physical one, a moral one, okay, according to the month you were born, the time you were born, and the day you were born. And you also have teaching angels, y'all. So these angels are real. God has an army of angels, okay? Now, despite the ministries that angels carry out for believers, okay? It is important to remember that the Lord of hosts, he is our Savior, and he is the one who ultimately sends them. God is the one who sends angels. They don't send themselves. They don't become the answer to somebody's prayer by themselves. That ain't how it works. Yep, it's not how it works, y'all. So God is the one who sends angels. Angels do not act on their own accord, nor are they omniscient or omnipresent. No, God is all-knowing. Let them praise the name of the Lord, for he commanded and they were created. Okay? The holy angels, we do God's bidding, not Satan's bidding. It is God alone who deserves the praise and glory for the answered prayers, encouragement, protection, and the service that angels carry out for other believers, y'all. This is deep. So we are grateful for the ministering spirits that God has ordained. And we give praise to God, y'all, for his care, for all of his power, all of his glory, okay? Thank God for the elect angels, because they know their role as servants of the Most High. So like the angel in Revelation said to John when the apostle tried to worship him, he said, don't do that. I am a fellow servant with you and your fellow prophets, or your fellow brethren. And he said, and with all who keep the words of this scroll. He told them, don't do that. Worship God. Worship God. So this is pretty deep, y'all. This is pretty deep. We're going to come back and we're going to continue. I was talking about the heck a lot, okay? Heck a lot. And what is this book? What does that mean? Okay? Because we talking about, God said his kingdom, y'all, is not of this world. We talk about in the spiritual realm, the celestial realm with the Most High. That is, we're seated in heavenly realms and with Christ. Listen to this. So when you start getting into, let's see, Hekalat, literature. This is good. So yeah, the Hekalat literature is a good literature to get involved in and start reading and studying it, because it describes otherworldly experiences. We're not of this world, even though we're in the world, we're not of the world. So yeah, we are different. We're called out, we're sages of society. So yeah, we want to have other worldly experiences. We don't want to experience the same things that this world is experiencing. No, because we don't operate from an earthly realm, right? So it describes other worldly experiences as well as the means to achieve them, especially ascents to heaven, but also the summoning of angels to earth. All right, so I have to come back and get more into this, because this is why I'm teaching y'all about the names of God, because the 72 angel names of God has power. This is the same name that Moses used, y'all. I was going to say to move the Red Sea, but to part the Red Sea. This is the same thing that Moses did. He used the 72 angel names of God. Okay? Let's see. So, yeah. This is why we got to study this stuff. Let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sleepy while I'm teaching this course to y'all, but I'm still here and I'm showing up. So listen, how you access the greater palaces, y'all, of the Most High is recitation of prayers and hymns, along with the invocation of divine names and other magical practices. Listen to this. It served to generate a state of ecstasy, which allowed them to make the perilous journey through the gates of the 7 celestial palaces in order to stand before the throne of God. Listen, we're sitting at the table with God. We are seated in heavenly realms with Christ, where they face the danger of a very fiery and potentially fatal transformation, y'all, into an angel. Don't you want to obtain angelhood with the Most High? And we want to sit at the table of the Most High. Okay, y'all, this is deep. This is deep. I got to come back with more. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about these magical practices. Magic ain't nothing but prayer, okay? Listen, this is so deep. All right, so it's so many different texts and books. And listen, I'm going to come back. We're going to talk more about Ezekiel's vision, y'all. And the Ophanim. Ophanim. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what the Ophanim say. Let me see. In chapter 1, book of Enoch. Well, I'm sorry, chapter 61, verse 10. Then shall the kings, the princes, and all who possess the earth glorify him who has dominion over all things, him who was concealed. For from the beginning, the Son of Man existed in secret. Y'all hear this? Listen, then shall the kings, the princes, and all who possess the earth, y'all, glorify him who has dominion over all things. Him who was concealed. He was concealed, Jesus Christ. It says, this is why he spoke to people in parables, y'all. He did, because they didn't understand him. I'm telling y'all, these people, y'all, they didn't understand. His disciples, though, I'm going to tell you one thing. Listen, I'm going to give you scripture even to back this thing up. His disciples said, yes, now you are speaking plainly, not in any figure of speech. He said, now we know that you know all things and do not need to have anyone question you. By this we believe that you came from God. And Jesus answered them, do you now believe? The hour is coming, indeed it has come, when you will be scattered, each one to his home, and you will leave me alone. But listen, let me say this too. Okay, it says that then Jesus' disciple says, now you are speaking clearly and without figures of speech in John 16 and 29. Because see, he didn't speak in parables. Okay, he said, I have spoken these things to you in figures of speech, and hours coming when I will no longer speak to you this way, but will tell you plainly about my Father. Jesus spoke to them using this illustration, but they did not understand what he was telling them. Because why? It says here, we're talking about, listen, it says from the beginning, the Son of Man existed in secret, whom the Most High preserved in the presence of his power and revealed to the elect. Come on, I'm done. He revealed the deeper secrets, mysteries of God, okay, things in secret to his elect. He tells us all things, okay? According to John 16 and 25, he said, but we'll tell you plainly about the Father. He spoke this message quite frankly, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Listen, Jesus spoke all these things to the crowd. He spoke to the crowd in parables. He did not tell them anything without using a parable, but he said, an hour is coming when I will no longer speak to you this way, but will tell you plainly about the Father. And then it says here that, but they did not understand what he was telling them. He said he spoke this message quite frankly, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Listen. A time is coming when I will no longer use this kind of language, but will tell you plainly about my Father. Then I said, Lord God, they are saying of me, is he not just telling parables? Is he not just telling parables? But these things he spoke to the crowd in parables. He didn't even tell them nothing without using a parable. It says, but privately, he explained everything, y'all, to his own disciples. Come on now. I'm done. I'm going to be back, and I'm going to be giving y'all more gems, and we're going to be talking about the angel messages of God and the 72 angel names of God, okay? So you can access, listen, the greater palaces of God, okay? Listen, so you can break demonic cycles from the courts of heaven. Why? Because you seated in heavenly realms at the right hand of God, just like Christ. And he tells us stuff privately. That's why. I'm done. I love y'all. I got to come back and we're going to talk more about the angels and the 72 angel names, y'all. I'm done. Love y'all.